This is fun. Here's the turbo mill. We mill 12 cards here, plus we sacrifice a bunch of land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we get to play 6 lands, right? This is just inconceivable how much mill this is. I'm so sorry. You guys are gonna have to play against this in ranked. It's not that hard to accomplish. And we don't even get to do our full combo, right? Like, there's so much more to this with the Lithoform Engine. And now we get to play our lands. We drew all those cards. We make mana from the Cobra. I'm so sorry. You just go, it's an infinite mill for sure. More draws. And the thing is, you just mill them so much harder than you mill yourself that it's, you know, GG's, RIPs. It's quite rewarding though, I'll admit, right? We could escape again. We have more passages to play. There's just so much that we can do here. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. I hope you're having a magical day, because it's about to get better. This team year deck focuses around Nahiri'S Lithoforming. We can sacrifice lands, draw a bunch of cards, and replay as many lands as we sacrifice, which in my opinion is absolutely insane, especially when we combo this with the one and only Rune Crab Landfall, mill your opponent for a bunch. So this is a Turbo Crab, Turbo Mill deck, and we go even further, adding Lithoform Engine to start copying some of these effects. Of course, our main engine of the deck is Song of Creation. Whenever you cast a spell, draw 2 cards, and you may play an additional land on each of your turns. There's no need for Uro, 1 land per turn. We want a land every turn, right? So this is really cool. And of course, our mill engine, other than the crab, is Teferi's Tutelage. If you find any value within this video, I encourage you to give it a thumbs up, share the channel out to a friend, and of course, subscribe for future content. We're going to take a look at the deck list in its entirety, working our way through each individual card, talking about the strengths, the weaknesses, why they were included within the deck. Next, we'll visit the strategies and synergies. What's your overall game plan? And then the steps you'll take to accomplish it. Moving forward, we get into some gameplay footage, showing you guys exactly how the deck operates firsthand, showing you the interactions, between this deck and the other decks within the meta. It's great to know how it operates in theory. It's even better to see it in use and first person, because you're going to go out into the gates winning instead of kind of learning these weird situations that is showcased within the gameplay footage. Finally, we've got our closing thoughts, any deck upgrades, changes that we'd like to incorporate or see, future content plans, blah, 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 right? I know, you guys, I ramble too much. My apologies. Let's get right into the Magic the Gathering now here. Our first one drop we already talked about is Rune Crab. This is a 0/3 with Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent mills 3 cards. This is such a good card. It shuts aggro down, obviously. It's a 0/3 defender for 1. Plus, it has massive capabilities to mill your opponent out, and it's stackable. Milling 3 cards on each land is crazy, especially when we have lands that enter the battlefield as lands, sacrifice themselves to enter another land into the battlefield, plus all of the play multiple lands per turn that we see within Standard right now. So the Rune Crab is a formidable foe. And of course, into our 2 drops, we talked about Nahiri'S Lithoforming as well for 2 at sorcery speed plus X, sacrificing X lands. For each land sacrificed this way, draw a card. You may play X lands this turn, and they enter the battlefield tapped. So this is really, really cool because we have to sacrifice lands that are tapped, obviously because they were cast to cost this, or they were tapped to cast this. And then we get to draw a bunch of cards that are probably lands, replay them into the field, triggering our Rune Crab again, and triggering our Lotus Cobra. Yes, the Lithoforming lands do come in tapped, but tapped lands still trigger Lotus Cobra, a 2/1 with Landfall, and whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color. So, we're drawing a bunch of cards, we're drawing lands that can be replayed. There's a good chance that we drew another crab within there as well, so we can sneak more crabs into play, we can sneak more cobras into play as we continue to play some of those lands that we drew from the sacrifice effect. So very cool synergy here within the deck so far. Moving into our 3 drops, we have Glasspool Mimic. This is the MDFC, Glasspool Shore on the opposing side, entering tapped, adding a blue to our mana pool. It's a 0/0 Shapeshifter Rogue, entering the battlefield as a copy of a creature we control, except it's a Shapeshifter Rogue in addition to its other types. Do you know what we're copying? Hashtag, it's a crab army, right? We have the potential for 8 crabs with our mimics. So that's very, very cool. We talked about our main mill engine beside the crab, Teferi's Tutelage. We have 4 copies of this, and when it enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. And whenever you draw a card, an opponent mills 2 cards. This has huge synergy and can mill your opponent infinitely in 1 turn. Brazen Borrower ×4. This is one of my favorite cards, a flash flying 3/1 that can only block other flyers. Petty Theft is where it really starts to shine. Instant speed, returning target non-land permanent an opponent controls to its owner's hand. It doesn't have to be a creature, it can be anything, of course, other than a land, but why would you want to return a land, really? So the Brazen Borrower is absolutely amazing. There's no mail capability here, but it provides the sustainability to keep you alive. Moving on to our 4 drops, we have 4 copies of the Lithoform Engine. We can pay 2, tap it, copy target activated or triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets. Pay 3 and tap it, copy target instant and sorceries you control. Again, choosing new targets. Or pay 4 and tap it, copy target permanent spell you control, and it becomes a token. Very, very, very cool. Moving on, we have Song of Creation ×4, one of the main engines in the deck enchantment, and you may play an additional land on all of your turns. Wow. Whenever you cast a spell, draw 2 cards. Wow. At the beginning of your end step, discard your hand. So that's supposed to be a drawback. It's not really that bad. Just mill your opponent harder than you mill yourself, right? Moving on, we have Escape to the Wilds. You know, this is our main draw engine within the deck that's not perpetual like Song of Creation. This just kind of pops off once. And this is a great spell to play on top of Song of Creation because you can't discard cards from exile, right? So, you know, exile the top 5 cards of your library. You may cards exile this way until the end of your next turn. You may play an additional land on this turn. So, you know, we're playing 2 additional lands because Song of Creation, Escape to the Wilds. That's awesome. And you know, Song of Creation is discarding our hand at the end of the turn. Escape to the Wilds puts 5 cards into exile, so we have fire to start our next turn up. And of course, as soon as we cast our first spell from exile, from Escape to the Wilds, that's going to trigger Song of Creation and just start drawing us cards for that turn, right? And then all we need to do is hold up another Escape to the Wilds, cast that at the end, make sure we've got cards in exile to start up our next turn. So easy peasy, lemon squeezy. These spells are accompanied by 4 Fabled Passages, 4 Evolving Wilds, 4 Ketria Triomes, 3 forests, 3 mountains, and 6 islands. You know, coming in slow is fine. The multiple lands entering the battlefield in 1 turn is absolutely busted, especially when we can play multiple lands per turn, right? Playing multiple Fabled Passages, multiple Evolving Wilds per turn. You know, we're getting 4-6 land effects per turn, and when we're stacking that on crabs and then sacrificing all of our lands to bring them back in play, you can just see how crazy this deck is going to get without us even breaking down the strategies and synergies. I think we did a fairly good job of it there. So with the deck list out of the way, let's begin to break down, you know, some of those strategies and synergies. Your opening hands, I love to have the crab in my opening hand. And then the land. The land is a big thing. You obviously don't want to brick in any opening hand. That's just general play knowledge. But as far as like my 1, 2, 3, 4 curve out, I love a crab on turn 1. I love me a Lotus Cobra on turn 2. And that literally opens anything up for you. Yes, you could land, go to 4, but as a primarily goal, you want to make sure that you have your tutelage in play. If you don't have your tutelage in play and you jump into your Song of Creation, then you have a big chance of drawing your tutelage when you're about to lose all of your mana, and then you're going to have to discard it to your graveyard, and you do not want that. So even though you can wrap with Lotus Cobra immediately into Song of Creation, if you're not going to play the tutelage, I recommend that you play the Lithoform Engine instead and try to skip your Song of Creation until you have at least 1 copy of Teferi's tutelage in play, just so when you do draw 2 cards, your opponent mills 4 cards. So you're never self-milling yourself. Your opponent will always mill at a ×2 speed than you're drawing, and that is just like an insurance policy. So make sure you have tutelage in play before you play your Song of Creation, so you don't have to discard it into the graveyard on accident and then mill yourself because you can't get one in play on time. That's the only strategy. That, like, if you need a goal, crab, cobra, tutelage, and then you're into your Song of Creation, at which point you basically win the game. Lithoform Engine is nice if you don't have your tutelage and you're still ramping into 4. If not, try to, you know, do something else. Play more crabs, play more cobras, right? You know, even your petty theft to survive for a turn. If you can't find it, then, you know, maybe go for it. Don't just sit there and not draw anything. At a certain point, you do have to go for it. But if you have both of those cards in your hand, is what I'm saying, make the conscious decision to play your tutelage first before your creation, just to eliminate the self-mill possibility. That's the only thing I didn't talk about. You know, the synergy between Rune Crab and Nahiri's Lithoforming is absolutely insane. And, you know, this is something that we can copy. It's a sorcery, which we can copy for 3. Wow. I can't even get into it, you guys. The combo is absolutely insane, especially with Song of Creation. You're going to see it in action here, but before we get there, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel out to a friend, subscribe so you don't miss out on you know, the 500,000 gem giveaway, our monthly free entry cash prize Brawl and Artisan tournaments. We are using MTGA Arena Assistant today, the best metagame tracker / stats tracker you can get for Arena. Deck write-ups, deck videos, metagame analysis, everything you could possibly want to make yourself a better player is included within that. The download is available in the Overwolf link description. We have the Linktree link, which takes you everywhere else. Thank you for your time and attention. If you want to support the channel financially, you can do so on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and the new Amazon link. All of our supporters gain access to exclusive content and chat rooms, so get in on that. It's always a great time engaging with you guys throughout my whole day in those groups. Thank you again for your time and attention. I know you're gonna enjoy and hate at the same time this Turbo Crab Mill. It's insane. One of my favorite combo decks of Zendikar so far. I've not seen anyone play with Nahiri's Lithoforming yet, and it is absolutely busted, and I'm sure going to flood the best of 1 meta after this video. So thanks again, take care, and enjoy today's gameplay footage. Don't forget to watch to the end because I have some once-in-a-lifetime news that you cannot afford to miss out on. We'll see you in a second. Well, we've done something. This is truly degenerate, and I'm not proud of it, but it's something I did want to showcase. 2 videos a day, janked ideas. Someone will like it. If this is you and you're a psychopath, you're in luck. I don't even want to. We're pulling a green source here, activating our Song of Creation. We're playing our tutelage next turn. I hope they just let us do it, you know what I mean? We attack with the crab anyways. Crab life. Don't you dare. Okay, so a crab is now a frog. That kind of slows our plan down. But at the end of the day, Cobra's not even needed here, right? Just because the way the curve pools. And we would be copying the frog or the crab? So if we were to Glasspool Mimic this crab, which is our normal go-to, we're gonna try it for the sake of science. I have no idea. Will it copy it as a 1/1 crab? Or will it copy it as our 0/3 crab, right? I want the 0/3 with the ability, not the 1/1 frog. But I think it's the frogify that makes the crab a frog and not the crab. So if we copy the crab, it should still remain... Oh, they just remove it. Oh, I see. They understand our tech. I guess we'll just play as the land here. We lose our Lithoform engines, which is actually really sad to me. That's an integral part of absolutely going Turbo Crab. We're playing without a hand. This is still a match somehow. Ooh! Spicy! They have us toss out our own tutelage through petty theft on the stack of the song. You dog! Woof! We were set up so good. I thought they were gonna, once the song triggered, bounce the song to our hand, and wow, that would trigger me. I never thought of dealing with the Song of Creation that way. Okay, here we go. Let's get a sick draw. We've seen that they had Voracious Great Sharks, so they could just straight up counter us and bash us. We get the draw. We have already tapped our green source, but we get another crab, baby. Ashix Erasure on the crab. That makes a lot of sense to me. You know, that's not surprising. That's a good play. We do get the land here. We can add a green source. Is that enough? It is. They have more mana to counter, but an escape on top of the song, that equals a few lands to be played. Oh my gosh. Comes in tap, so we're not really getting anything out of it. We can petty theft the erasure away for our crab again. We got our tutelage back in play. Actually, not really. All in the grave. Oh! We're supposed to be milling our opponents, not ourselves. The turbo mill is backfiring! We got a lot of land here. We're able to play more land. They're not biting on Ashix Erasure. They know they have to get the tutelage with it. We need that erasure to just F off. There it is. Okay, we got the erasure out. Maybe they have more of them. That would be terrifying. We have to discard our hand, so we're losing our tutelage again, though. I don't know if this is gonna work. Unless we can play enough land. Right? And gain it here. Through triggers. We have enough for the passages to work, right? We've got basic lands in the library still. We got this. This is still a match somehow, as long as there's not another counter spell. We're drawing so many cards, though. Oh! There's a counter spell. Ah! Can't counter our crab, I guess. We're milling ourselves way too hard, though. And we're not shuffling back in. Damn it. This would be really good with the Buccaneer. I don't know if that's still in standard anymore or not. But you deal damage for all the cards you discarded. I guess we do need Thassa's Oracles in here. They specifically dealt with our tutelage in such a way that it shut down our deck. And we killed ourselves, right? Brutal. This will surely mill us. Right? That's a good game. This is how you draw your whole deck. In theory, we're supposed to be able to draw so many cards that we just play all our crabs, and then tutelage makes them ultra mill themselves. It can backfire though, as we've now learned. Alright, we underestimated the power of the self-mill last turn. We're gonna make up for it here. We were lucky enough to pull our Ruin Crab. We can play our Forest with Evolving Wilds, double triggering the crab. That's a mill for 6, baby. Also activating our Cobra and our Escape a little later on. The tutelage next turn. No attacks. I think we skip the Cobra. Or do we? Ooh. Ooh. Let's Cobra into a Petty Theft. Just get out of here. We're still prone to removal. They've got no field presence, though. This is good. If we can pull lands, that's awesome. We do have the pool. Huh. Do we copy the Cobra, drop it, go to 2? That doesn't get much accomplished. Let's copy our Snick. I think we hold on to the land. Rather than pushing to 2 that we can't use. Making sure to utilize our resources. That's not that bad. No blocks. We can't lose any of our snakes. I think we should just escape. Hopefully we draw another land to play. Alright, we actually do get pretty set up here. There's no play for 1. Oh, but it's not a play for 1. It's a play for 3. Which we have. That's our 3rd Cobra. And now we go to 3, which we can also just tutelage, which we wanted to do at the very start. Go to 4, actually. We could Song. Then we'd lose our tutelage. We need to put our tutelage in play right away. Alright, let's start this mill up. We've got 17 life, and we're in a very good position to start laying in. I wish we had our crab still, though. Oh, wow. Not as good of a position as I thought. We got, like, what, 2 turns? Oh! Hopefully we can go infinite with our song. Silly. Village rights. That's fine. We get a crab. That's nice. They're at 36. We need to hold up our own petty theft to interrupt this damage. Lots of mana, which is nice. Oof. We could escape. Let's do this while we still have lands in the sitch. We get a gray. That's nice. They have 22. We'd have to grab like a bunch of lands, right? Because we want to sacrifice lands. Typically we have, but we draw cards, right? Yeah, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is fun. Here's the turbo mill. We mill 12 cards here. Plus, we sacrifice a bunch of land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we get to play 6 lands. Right? This is just inconceivable how much mill this is. I'm so sorry. You guys are gonna have to play against this in ranked. It's not that hard to accomplish. And we don't even get to do our full combo, right? Like, there's so much more to this with the Lithoform Engine. And now we get to play our lands. We drew all those cards. We make mana from the Cobra. I'm so sorry. You just go, it's an infinite mill for sure. More draws. And the thing is, you just mill them so much harder than you mill yourself that it's, you know, GG's, RIPs. It's quite rewarding though, I'll admit. Right, we could escape again. We have more passages to play. There's just so much that we can do here. Play some more lands. I mean, I guess we could just pass the turn here, but let's just bounce this in case, right? Let's make it apparent that, you know, we would have had it either way. And that's it. Like, we could play our Lithoforming Engine to copy stuff. It's absolutely insane, the mill capabilities within Zendikar Rising. All right, what do you guys think of that? Wow. Nahiri'S Lithoforming is 100% broken. That was so satisfying, and it's not a card people typically see, so they don't know how to react to it yet, right? They don't know that it just blows up the game immediately. Being able to play X lands per turn, and you know, we do have a healthy land total within the deck, so you know, you sacrifice 6, you're probably going to draw 3 or 4 for sure. If you got Cobras in play, you know, that buffs your mana up to like 6, who knows. You know, the Fabled Passages and Evolving Wilds of course really help with that, and we can copy all of them with Lithoform Engine, draw a billion cards and play multiple lands again with Song Creation and escape. Like I don't even know where to start, right? This was an amazing deck. As far as changing it goes, you know, I think it's like almost perfect. I think we hit it right on the head, right out of the gate. We needed to learn how it worked in that first match. I underestimated Song of Creation, and we didn't get Tutelage in play first. We learned that lesson. We got our Tutelage in play first, then we put our Song on top. Oh my gosh, it was not a pretty sight after that, right? Especially with the finale of Lithoforming. So thanks again for your time and attention. I really appreciate it. I'm live on YouTube every morning at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard. We switch over to Twitch after our YouTube live premiere, which is roughly between 7 and 7:30 a.m. We're on Twitch for about 5 to 8 hours, and then we're back on YouTube at 6 p.m. in the evening. Again, Mountain Standard, as all my times are. If you don't want to do the time conversion, you can subscribe to the platforms, Twitch, YouTube. Then you're going to be notified when I do go live, right? Hit the bell or the notification, whatever they are, and then it's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Join the Discord for the 500,000 gem giveaway. You know, we've got free entry cash prize tournaments that you should familiarize yourself with as well. There's so much going on within the channel, and we are growing so quick I can barely keep up with it. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I really appreciate it. If you want to go above and beyond, you can do so on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and the new Amazon link. I don't know if I've said that yet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know I've said that. All right, guys, take care. Go have an amazing day, and make sure to watch another video. We'll see you in a few seconds.